Alien Covenant is directed by Ridley Scott, and it's essentially the sequel to Prometheus, but also another sequel to Alien. And in this film, a bunch of people are going to a different planet to colonize, and they get a distress signal on the way from another planet, and then they go check out that planet because that planet is essentially a better planet than the original one that they were trying to go to. And so they land, and some alien stuff happens, and you get a movie. And essentially I was really excited to see this film because, well, it's directed by Ridley Scott, and no one directs sci-fi like Ridley Scott.
Not you, not you, not you, not you.
But also, because it's directed by Ridley Scott, he hasn't always made the best films. You know, Ridley Scott is very on and off director, I guess. He sometimes makes really good films, he sometimes makes okay films, and sometimes he revolutionizes filmmaking in Hollywood. So although I was really excited, I was also kind of cautious. But after seeing the film, I have to say that it is kind of a tonal mess. Biggest problem with the film is the script. It's trying to be so many different things. It's trying to be a sequel to Prometheus, like I said. It's trying to be an Alien prequel. It's trying to be a horror movie, a thriller movie, an action movie. It's trying to be a thoughtful, sort of philosophical thing that talks about creation and, you know, stuff like that. And it doesn't really kind of mesh together. And honestly, the only thing that holds all this sort of mess together is Ridley Scott's amazing direction and some great performances from the cast. Let's talk about Ridley Scott's direction. This film looks gorgeous. Ridley Scott, like I said, nobody directs sci-fi like him. And if you see all like the behind the scenes stuff for this film, then you know how much of the film isn't CGI. So much of it is done practically. It's using real sets, and everything looks beautiful. The cinematography is insane. I talked about how this movie looks, but how does it sound? Amazing. The score done by Jed Kurzel is pretty reminiscent of, you know, the classic Alien music, and everything about this film is kind of classic Alien, even the way the title kind of comes onto the screen. But it is done very well. The score is absolutely amazing, and the action scenes, obviously there are action scenes, are very well directed, and the level of tension, the suspense, the intensity is done really well, although there are certain moments in the film throughout that kind of do slow down a bit, but the actual moments of tension and excitement are done really well. Also, the performances in this film, Michael Fassbender, who plays David, which is an android, and Walter, which is another android. Michael Fassbender is amazing. I think that he's continuously proving himself to be one of the greatest actors working in Hollywood today, and he proves that beyond the shadow of a doubt in this film. He is just incredible. I don't want to talk too much about the characters though, because that would be getting into spoiler territory, and I kind of want to keep this review spoiler free for those who haven't seen it. But Michael Fassbender is absolutely amazing, and the opening scene, which has him in it, the opening scene of this film is also amazing. Really beautiful, really well directed, just like the rest of the film. Biggest surprise for me in this film was Danny McBride. I mean, I know that Danny McBride is a really talented guy, and he's really funny, but when I heard that he was cast to be in an Alien Covenant, I was kind of worried that he wouldn't fit. He fits perfectly. He's so good in this film. Also, Catherine Waterston, who's kind of the main character, she feels very reminiscent of Sigourney Weaver, and nobody is as good as Sigourney Weaver.
No one.
And the rest of the cast, Billy Crudup and everyone else, they're really good as well. But I have to say though that there are way too many characters in this film. I mean, like half an hour into the film, I was watching it, and then I realized, like, oh my god, I haven't even seen this person before, and I don't know, there was just too many characters. Which brings me to what I haven't talked about yet, which is the aliens and sort of its connections to Prometheus. Now, does this film answer all the questions that Prometheus asked? No, it doesn't. And the questions that it does answer aren't done really satisfying. Oh, by the way, don't watch any of the, like, prologues and stuff that they've released on the internet. They kind of spoil the film. But yeah, no, this film doesn't really answer all the questions from Prometheus. It's really more of an Alien prequel than a Prometheus sequel. But the alien stuff is really good. It's very terrifying, really gory. I wouldn't say jump scares, but there are a lot of frightening moments. So this film is definitely not for the faint of heart. And this time around, the xenomorph is done using CGI as opposed to the practical sort of dancer in a suit that they did in the first few films. And that means that you can actually see a lot more of the xenomorph, as opposed to it always being hidden away, because you can't really have it see the entire body, because it doesn't look very good. The xenomorph looks really good, and the new alien, which is a neomorph, also looks really good. And they're both, like I said, very terrifying, and they fit really well. CGI and the practical actually do blend in really well, and all the scenes with the alien are pretty damn terrifying and are pretty well executed. Which brings me to the ending, which I don't really love because it feels too sort of setty, uppy. There isn't a sense of finality to the ending, and I wanted there to be more, which was kind of disappointing. But on the whole, I do think that Alien Covenant is a good film. It's not perfect, it's not great, it's nowhere near as good as Alien or Aliens. In fact, I'd probably say I like Prometheus a little bit more, but I do think that this film is an enjoyable, beautiful looking film with some really good action, really good performances, and I'm going to give Alien Covenant a B. Guys, thank you as always for watching. Thank you.